Hello, everybody, and welcome to week 8, day 5. There's that double E pattern, those smiley E's that Mrs. Ripple really likes. So I thought we would review some of those long E vowel patterns since we learned so many this week. Let's read some words that have each of the vowel patterns we learned. So number 1, feet. Feet. And you see that has the smiley E's in the middle, E. When two vowels are together, the first one says it's long sound, and actually the second one is silent, but since it's two E's, you can't really tell that. Number 2 is also the smiley E's, double E pattern, queen, queen. And Q needs that U helper letter all the time. Number 3, let's see if you can read this without me this time. Meet. You might meet some new people. Number 4, this is just the E by itself making a long sound in a small word, be. This one, be, is be good, or I like to be in a good mood, or something like that. That's when you use this one, be. Number 5, can you see the vowel pattern here? Yes, it's the E by itself again, saying its long sound in me. Oh, here is that double E pattern again. Smiley E's in the word see. You've been reading that long E pattern the whole school year almost. This was one of our very first fast as a snap sight words. Number 7, be. That's the double E making the long sound E, bee. This is like a bee insect. It's a buzzing bee insect. You need that extra E to make it the little insect bee. And number 8, Pete. This is the E, other letter, silent E pattern. So this is when E is separated with another letter and then silent E comes to help E say its long sound. Pete. Okay, I just thought we would review that. Those are some good words to read. Our other reading is very simple today also. I have a little extras in the packet this week. I'll show you on the next video because most of the days were pretty easy on you. So we've been working on so many long vowels that these little books we're putting in are to practice your short vowels. Pick, nick. And you can see these words also have that CK ending, which just makes the K sound. 2 letters, but just one sound. Picnic. It looks like there is going to be a soccer game. So let's see how that is in the book. Let's see what happens. Nick can kick. Picnic. All right, so this must be Nick. Well, he can kick. Maybe they want to pick him for their soccer team. Nick has a red cap. Well, we can't see that it's red because this picture needs to be colored. But if we were coloring it, we would definitely color that cap red. The other boys might have red caps also because they're on the same team. Nick, Ben, and Ron can hit. So they're hitting it with their knee and with their head, but not their hands because soccer we don't touch with our hands. So lots of short vowels in this book. So practice sounding out words k and can. Ben, that's the name of one of the boys, and Ron, that's another name. So practice reading this story, and that will be practice for your short vowels. We have a little bit more in math to do. Making 10, we talked about this on day 4, a lot of making 10. And so there are mittens already put into the 10 frame. We need to draw objects to fill up the 10 frame, and then we need to write an equation. So I suggest that we write first how many mittens are already in the 10 frame. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, that's going to be our first group, is always going to be how many mittens there are. So in this case, there are 5. Then we need to draw some X's to fill up the 10 frame in order to equal 10. So let's draw our X's to fill up the 10 frame. Now we need to put how many X's there are in this space. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, there are 5 X's also. So 5 mittens, oops, I need to make my 5 a little neater. 5 mittens plus 5 X's equals 10. And we know that because if the 10 frame is full, that is 10. That's how it got its name. All right, let's write how many mittens are in this 10 frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 mittens are in the 10 frame. Now we need to make X's to fill up the 10 frame. And our second group on this line will be how many X's there are. 1, 2, 3. If we're reading these equations, 5 plus 5 equals 10. 7 plus 3 equals 10. So we are getting good practice at making 10 in addition. So let's go ahead and do the rest together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 mittens. And we need to fill up the 10 frame with X's. You can count them as you do them, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so another way to make 10, 4 plus 6 equals 10. We are finding a lot of ways to make 10. Let's write how many mittens are in this 10 frame. 1. And let's count how many X's we make as we make them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We made 9 X's, so that is the number that needs to go in the second space for our second group. 1 plus 9 equals 10. There's a new way. I bet you could do the rest of these on your own. I don't think you need me to give you any more examples. So I'm going to leave you on your own to do the last ones. Remember, the number of mittens is the first one, and then you put how many X's in the second space, and it needs to equal 10. All right, so that seems pretty easy, but you will see a lot of different ways. 7 plus 3, 1 plus 9, 4 plus 6. Lots of different ways to make 10. We talked about how important that was for other math work. So this is a foldable. And when we do a foldable, we usually cut and fold first. I'm going to say that we want to write the equations first. We're going to want to write an equation to match the objects. So each little space is going to have a group of objects. This one has 3 pink balloons. That will be the number we'll put in the first space, 3, plus 1 blue balloon equals how many balloons in all? 1, 2, 3, 4. It equals 4 in all. And this is good practice for reading our equations. This is very good practice for reading our equations. I'm going to make this a little bit darker because green was not a very dark color for you to see. Okay, now let's do an equation for the flowers. 2 yellow flowers, so that means 2 goes in the first space. 2 pink flowers. So we're going to add these pink flowers together, which means we're joining the groups. 2 plus 2 equals 1, 2, 3, 4. It equals 4. All right, let's do the ice cream cones. 1 chocolate ice cream cone. 1 plus 1, 2, 3, 4 vanilla cones equals how many ice cream cones all together or in all? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. can write the number 5. 1 plus 4 equals 5. 1 plus 4 equals 5. The monkey one has always confused people because this is one group of monkeys and this is another group of monkeys. And this will be the first time we've worked with no monkeys or 0. So in the first group there are 1, 2, 3 monkeys. Plus, and this is how many are in the other group, 0, none. We write 0 when there is none. So we're going to write 0. 3 plus 0 equals, how many monkeys do we have all in all? 1, 2, 3. We still have only 3 monkeys. No more came to join this group. And so it is still 3. 3 plus 0 equals 3. And you're going to find out that that is true for any number. If you add 0 to it, it will stay the same. All right, let's do the party hats. 1, 2, 3 party hats. Plus 1, 2 noisemakers. Equals how many altogether? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So after you have written all the equations, you can start the cutting. And what you want to do is always want to cut off the top. We cut this off first. Now this one is a little tricky. Let me turn it over and show you. We are going to fold on these green dots. We're going to fold it in half. And then we are going to cut just on these orange dash lines. Sometimes it's easier to cut before you fold, but in this case, I think it's going to be easier to fold first. So I am going to fold it this way. Let's see if I folded this the right way. There's usually instructions on the back. Yes, I need for the equations with no answer to be on the outside. Now I'm going to unfold this again before I cut, just so I don't cut through the whole thing. If you start cutting right here, you might cut both layers of paper and then you will not have your nice foldable. So unfold it again. You're going to see the colored pieces and the equations. Now I always like to have my scissors pointing up, and so I'm going to put this towards me and I'm going to cut on that dash line like so. A little bit of a shadow. I think I'll turn this so there's no shadow on it. And I'm going to stop when I get to the colors. Do you see that? I'm cutting on the dash line, but I'm stopping when I get to the colors or those green dots. We don't cut anymore. Okay, so I'll cut those. All right, I did all my cutting. You can put your name on one of the colors. That's what we usually do. Fold it back up. There we go. Now we have an equation on the outside and we want to see the picture. So 3 plus 1 equals, and inside we did the equation. 3 plus 1 equals 4. So if you close this and you practice, you might remember what the answer is. 3 plus 1 equals 4, just looking at the numbers. So this is a picture of the groups with the equation, but this you could practice memorizing or remembering those equations. All right, so have fun with your foldable. And that was the end of day 5, and I'll be back with some extras in the next video. So I will see you next time.